But I want to also now. I'd like to know more about your fundraising round, your tokenomics, on how the coin is going to be used. Because I read in your documentation that it's also going to govern the DAO, but it
Mhm.
also going to be giving some revenue to the token holders.
No, no,
So
yeah.
lots of
So
questions on that.
yeah.
Let's start with the fundraising. Like, when did this start? When did you start the whole process? Who did you manage to onboard? And how much did you raise? Of course, feel free to just tell me. I don't want to answer any of those questions. This is
No, no,
totally
yeah.
fine.
Listen, one thing that you'll never get from me is obscurity. I'm a pretty transparent and open guy, and in general, that's the kind of culture that I've tried to to push on the DAO overall. So yeah, we're fairly we're really open in general. It's not a whole lot of secrecy here. So the efforts to fundraise, actually, like we didn't even know that we were fundraising. Like people started to reach out to us. It's like, hey, do you want some money? And I was like, maybe we're not ready yet. This was probably like beginning of November, or no, like somewhere midway through October. So mind you, like we launched on mainnet beta on September 17th, right? And we went from basically 20 something people that we had on alpha and testing, and basically the five of us plus our extended network of people that were doing some beta testing there or some alpha testing. um, we went from that to like 1,000 users overnight, and we're like, wait, time out. Like maybe we're doing something right here. And people really started to flock over, like the message of, we're doing the simpler version of DeFi on MeanFi. Like we're doing everyday banking workflows. This is like the uncomplicated um, DeFi application. Like really resonated with people. And right now, I just actually just looking at the numbers, and we have right now. Let me see here. I'll tell you. We have over 87,000 users, which is freaking insane.
This is, you
So
mean
this is number.
these are unique addresses that
Yeah,
that's
we have
amazing, amazing.
86,760 unique addresses, 4,669 daily active with at least one transaction, and $1.8 billion in transaction volume in the last 60 days.
Wow,
That's
bullish numbers,
this
man.
morning.
Amazing.
So yeah, things have really resonated, and I think that when you combine the message with the fact that our tokenomics are very community driven and very community centric. 70% of our token allocation is for community. Um, and so when you combine that with the fact that we are doing with the fact that we have like really amazing investors, like basically a month after we launched, we already were in the couple of thousands of users that had been using the application, and it caught wind of some investors. I think that the first ones that reached out to us were Solar Eco Fund, and from there it was kind of like a flood of investors, coming onto us. I remember talking to Dean at some point, asking for advice. He's like, man, I really don't know how to handle this thing, because like people are kind of like taking, like, they're writing offers on Telegram. Like they're saying, like, hey, can we allocate like $2 million? And like, I don't even know how to answer that. Like, what? Yes, I guess.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
I don't
It's insane. I know exactly what you mean, but you managed to gather some really
Yeah.
really
So we
quality
ended up,
partners.
we ended up going with a really kick-ass group of investors. We have 3 Arrows Capital, we have SoftBank, we have Defiance, we have Skyvision, we have Cestirs. They are the largest mining operations in Europe. We have Solar Eco Fund. Yeah, so like, Big Brain Holdings, like, very very good, like rock star investment team that we got. So yeah, very happy on that.
Who's the lead? The three AC.
3AC and 3AC, SoftBank and Defiance split the lead there. Yeah, they took most of the round.
Like we know all these names. Even we know Big Brain Holdings, we know 3AC, we
Yeah.
know Defiance Capital, but SoftBank, we know SoftBank as a bank.
Yeah, yeah. SoftBank was an interesting one. So SoftBank is one of the largest investment banks in the world. They, for example, they along with Tiger. So Tiger and SoftBank are probably the two largest investment funds in the world right now. If you look at the investments of SoftBank, they basically own pretty much all of WeWork. They have deep roots into big tech, and they invest in everything from pharma. I don't know. I'll have to actually look some of the
Yeah,
big investments that
they're
they have.
like a huge
Yeah, huge.
institution.
Yeah.
Like, do they have any other exposure to Solana projects? Because I've
No,
been following
we are the
Solana
first.
quite a
Yeah,
lot, and I've
yeah, we
never
are the
like I've seen
first.
all these names
Yeah,
100,000 times, but SoftBank is a really big
yeah,
name that
it
stands
is a
out,
real
and
big
I've never
name.
seen that before.
Yeah. We are their first foray into Solana, and it was kind of funny because like they had so many questions about about the whole process of why Solana at the beginning. That was a big part of the discovery and the due diligence, and but they're aggressively opening up their fund into the crypto space right now, and they have the way that you have to understand that this is not like only like one fund. They have like three major like focus groups. There's one that is called the opportunity fund, which is kind of like their early stage fund. Then there's a middle one that is the growth stage, and then there's the vision fund, which is like for really large check sizes. I'm talking like $100 million plus check sizes on the vision fund. And we're in the lower end, of course, of that
Yeah,
one.
I was
Like
like,
we're in
did
the
you manage to strike such a
yeah. But that's good because that means that we are on their ramp up, right? So like it's natural for their portfolio companies to be able to move from one fund to the other and to the other and kind of progress into the entire capital structuring game, right? So yeah, very happy. In general, one of the good things about having SoftBank as well is for us it is the perfect story because you have one of the leading investors and funds on crypto with Three Arrows and Defiance, and those two guys, those two are phenomenally well connected. We appreciate all of the insight and input and feedback that we get from them. We actually meet every single week with their team. And on the SoftBank side, you have very deep government connections, very deep traditional finance, traditional banking connection, and they have a big ass presence in Miami, which is where I'm based on. So I have access to all of their team right here, like in the flesh. And likewise, similar to what we do with Defiance and 3AC, having them basically have a sit on the board and give us guidance on, hey, let's make sure that you're plugged over here, or that you're plugged over there, and like let's work with you on what is the strategy and how to move. It's phenomenal. It's very eye opening, even how different the two worlds are, but they're both incredibly insightful on their own accords, right?
Yes, and the synergies, like you're building a non-custodial Web3 digital bank in a way, and then you
Yep.
have 3AC and SoftBank like helping you in so many levels on traditional finance connected to markets, to banks, to like to crypto through like through
Yep.
3AC. Like it's amazing. The synergies are endless.
Yep. We're very happy for that, for sure.
And the raise was 3.5 million, right?
That's correct.
Beautiful. And this on your tokenomics, if I'm not mistaken, that's how much? It's 20%, right?
That is no on the tokenomics. So I guess you're trying to get me to to share the valuation of that, and
Yes,
that's fine.
yes,
Okay.
yes, that would be lovely. Thank you.
You're a sneaky guy.
I'm slowly just inputting the cells on Excel just to yeah and that yeah.
Sneaky question. Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on from there.